Should you self-manage your rental property or should you hire a property manager? This is Val Lemoine, CEO of the Real Estate Made Easy Group, powered by Keller Williams. Self-manage your rental property or hire a property manager. So first, let's start with the pros of self-managing. You're going to save about 8 to 10% of your cash flow. So usually if the rent is $2,000 per month for the house, you're paying a property manager about $200 per month for them to manage. Now the advantage is you get to save that $200 per month by self-managing. You also get to know that it's going to be done right, because as the owner of the property, you're not going to cut any corners. You're going to make sure that you find the best tenant, assuming you know how. And you're going to make sure that the property is well taken care of. No corners are going to be cut on the maintenance of the property because it's yours, right? And you're going to take extremely good care of it. Now, disadvantages of self-managing a property. You're the one that is getting those leaking toilet phone calls at midnight. As a property manager who self-manages, very rarely do those happen, but they do. If you have enough rental properties and you manage them for long enough, you are going to get a phone call that there's a leaking toilet at midnight. And part of that too is training your tenants, right? How do they tell you about a maintenance issue? If you don't know what you're doing, there's a lot that can go wrong. You need to make sure that you have a tight lease agreement holding your tenant accountable to what they agreed to do. And that is paying the rent on time. If there's increases down the road, to paying the new increases. But most important of all, to take care of your house. I mean, that is a big asset that you're entrusting to a tenant. And so you have to make sure you get the right person in there to take really good care of your property, because otherwise it's going to end up costing you a lot more if the damages exceed the security deposit, and you now have to pay for those out of pocket. Make sure you get a very tight lease agreement in there. And then you have to enforce that lease agreement. You know, if it says that they're required to cut the grass and hedge and trim the bushes, then you have to make sure that those items are happening. And you have to know what to do in the event that they don't happen. I mean, you're basically managing the property, right? It is a part-time job, and you have to understand that that's what you're signing up to do. For some people it makes sense, and for some people it would make no sense. Okay, so now let's talk about the advantages of hiring a property manager. You can hire somebody that knows what they're doing. They're going to do everything. They're going to find the tenant. They're going to screen the tenant. Then they're going to look at the tenant with you and see multiple prospects and help you pick the best one out of all of those. Then if there's ever a phone call that has to take place, the tenant will be calling the property manager as opposed to the owner, the landlord, right? So you're getting some of that time back. And they will also have contractors ready to call to go fix the problem, and they will know how to fix the problem, right? Sometimes there's a whole array of things that a tenant could call you about, and as a property manager, you're experienced to those because it's your job, right? That's what you do. The bottom line is you have to treat it like a business. A house is too major of an asset to be treated like a hobby. So if you are going to choose to self-manage, that's awesome. That's great. Just do it right. Treat it like a business, have standards, and hold your tenants accountable to those standards. And if you don't think that you can do that, then you 100% need to hire a property manager, because even though it will cost you 8 to 10% of your monthly rent, that will pay dividends in the forms of not having headaches that you don't know how to handle, and to make sure that somebody else is holding your tenant accountable to taking good care of your property. So that is money well spent if that is something that you cannot do on your own. I hope this helps, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at val@treemeg.com. Happy to help you out in any way that I can.